Hello everyone and welcome to Melanie's Matters. You guys, I have a great show planned for you guys. Guess where I am? I'm at the Lord Baltimore Hotel and I'm getting ready to do an interview with Brii Fashions, and we're going to get a chance to talk to everyone who's involved in this. They are doing the Fashion Week, which is a big thing. I didn't know how big it was until I got here and saw everything that's all laid out. So with us today, we have one of the owners, Mr. Mike, who's going to tell us about Brii Fashions.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good. I'm good.
Finally get to meet in person.
Yes, we do.
So yes, we are here at Baltimore Fashion Week, and Brii Combination is ready to make their debut in Baltimore.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. This is their debut. And guys, later on in the show, we're going to show you some of their clothing lines that they have. It's just absolutely stunning and beautiful. So, Mike, tell us a little bit of the history of Brii's combination.
Brii Combination started one day just with Brittany having an idea. She came to me, she said, "Dad, I want to start a clothing company." Now, she's always been very artistic. She's always been, she's been drawing since she's been about 5 years old. And I didn't even know she had this talent. So when she came to me, I said to her, "Brittany, if you're serious, come to me with a company name and a few designs and we'll make it happen." So about a week later, she came to me and she said, "Dad, the name of my company is going to be Brii Combination, and here are my designs." And I looked at them and I was like, "Wow, this is very impressive." And from there, we just kept it moving.
Now, guys, I love this because we actually have a child who came to her parents and said, "This is what I would like to do," and she just showed the initiative, which is, Dad said, "Come to me with a name and a design, and then we're going to move forward." So in moving forward, what are some of the steps that you all had to go through?
Oh man, the first thing we did was when she came to me and she said that this is the company name, Brii Combination. I said, well, the first thing you have to do is trademark that name. We have to make sure no one can steal it. So we trademarked the name, and then we actually copywrote the name. So that name, and we did it internationally. So not only can it be used in America, but it can be used outside the country as well. And we had the legal rights to that name, so no one can take that. So that was the first thing we did. And then with all of the pieces that we did, we need to get those trademarked as well. So we did that. We made sure the paperwork was right. And then we started finding out, what do we need to grow the company? What type of team members that we need, and whose skills would best fit the areas that we needed. So, I come from a finance background, and I've been managing people for about the last 20 years.
Wow.
So using those talents, and I tell my daughter all the time, I've had to have a 9 to 5 all my life, but I don't look at it as a 9 to 5, I look at it as training to run this business. So now that, and I tell my daughter all the time, I say, I think my training is done now, and when Brii Combination gets to that point where I can retire, she's going to take over, and I'm going to literally retire.
Literally retire.
Yes.
My goodness. So you guys have been doing this for how long?
For about 3 years now.
3 years, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very short period of time. When you're talking about business, period, that's a short period of time. But it seems like you all have grown.
Oh, tremendously. Yep. And this year we've grown like almost double in size.
Wow.
We started off with just a couple of pieces. We had Koi Fish, which was our flagship piece, and then we had the I'll Always Love Brii Combination piece, which was the second piece. And now we've expanded into the Lady D hoodie, the scoop neck, the V neck. We have the dancers coming out, and we have a couple of other pieces that are going to be coming out next month. So that's actually going to be really nice.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. So you spoke about a team, and it always is better if you have a team in place. So who are some of your key players?
I have my Chief Operating Officer, Christopher C. Sharp Reynolds.
Okay.
He runs all the day-to-day operations, and I have a going joke with Chris that, I'll get out there, I'll make the contacts, I'll set up the appointments, but it's his job to make sure we get to those appointments and get to those appointments on time. Because I'm like, it's just a world. Right. And I tell Chris, listen, I set this up, I set that up, here's the contact information, make it happen. And he's tremendous. Yep.
Wow. That's big. That's really big. And some of your other players?
And then I have Tanya Freedom Brown Beresford. She is the Vice President of Marketing. She's responsible for making sure that all the pamphlets are right, all the business cards are right, all the catalogs and stuff like that. That everything, all the designs get to the manufacturer on time. So she's responsible for that. And she's also been very tremendous with that as well.
Wow. Okay. And next?
And then we have Taria Beresford, who is the chief executive marketing.
Okay.
And she and Tanya work together, and what Taria does, she handles more of the bigger events, right? So like when we do things like work with the Cancer Society, which we're actually going to be doing next month. We're trying to get into it, just, you know, give back to the community.
Right.
So Taria does that, and she has a background in medical, so she's always been one of those people persons, you know, helping out where that help is needed, and she's great. And then we have Felix, who unfortunately couldn't be here.
Okay.
And Felix is our public relations guy. He goes up to like all the radio stations. He does, you know, handing out the flyers and bringing people in, getting that buzz, building up the social media base network and stuff like that. You know, and then last but not least, we have Brittany Beresford, the inspiration behind Brii Combination. So, you know, and that's the team. And then of course we have our models. We have Todd Johnson and we have Jerome, and a couple of other models couldn't be here, but you know, we put that whole team together, and it just seems to be the perfect match.
Right.
And you know, to quote my mom always says, Mike, no matter how hard you work, nothing's gonna happen before it's time. And I truly feel in my heart that this is the time right now. Like everything that we've been set forth to do has been really blossoming, and 2013 and 14 have just been tremendous.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. 9 to 5, or what you're doing now? What would you choose?
What I'm doing now.
Why?
Well, see, my 9 to 5, I've been in the finance industry since I was 17 years old. I'm 39 now. All my life, I've always said, I have such an ability to make other people rich. If I applied that to my own company, I can make my own self rich. Like, at my present company now, they just said, you know, there's no money in the budget for us to give you big bonuses and big raises. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just closed $3 billion deals for you guys. I know there's money in the budget, right? So if I'm closing $1 billion deals for myself, then I get to drive the Lamborghini. I get to drive the Bentley, right? So,
Yes,
I mean, why not?
yes.
And I've always said to myself, these guys are not smarter than me. I just need to apply myself, and that's what I've been doing. That's why you see the company has been bubbling and evolving so fast, and with a great team behind me, there's nothing we can't do. I really believe in my team, and in addition to Brii Combination, we have so much more going on,
Yeah.
right? You know, Christopher, he is a chef, and we're starting a portion of the company called Sharp Culinary, sorry about that. And he's going to be doing catering and his own special recipes and things like that. And then, of course, we have Freedom Brown, who does spoken word, and she actually has a beautiful poem for Brii Combination that I would love for her to recite if possible. You know? So, you know, we're getting out there. We're doing a lot of things. And to me, it's just, for me, it's so much more fulfilling because I know that if I put my hard work in all year long, at the end of the year, I will definitely reap the benefits. Whereas working for somebody else, I can put in 50 hours a week, and at the end of the year, it's like, oh, you know, we can only give you 2%.
If you get that.
If you get that, right. So definitely, I would much rather be doing Brii Combination.
So you laid out the blueprint. You have a background in finance, and you have said, you know, so graciously, if you take your ethics that you have used in finance and apply them to your business and what you are absolutely doing, you're going to succeed. And you have. You absolutely have. So what separates you apart from everyone else who's doing the same thing you're doing?
And you know what? That is a wonderful question, and I was actually hoping you would ask that.
Oh.
The difference between our clothing line and what you see with the other clothing line is, first and foremost, we give you a product that we would wear ourselves. That's why when you feel the material, it's that soft material. When you feel the t-shirts, it's not that thin t-shirt that makes you feel like, wow, I don't really like this t-shirt. You know, it's thick, it's rugged, especially like the B's for the guys. Like, you know, I want to be able to put that B on and strut and feel comfortable with myself, and that's what the clothes make you feel. In addition to that, every piece that you see on Brii Combination tells a story. So like the koi fish evolving into a dragon, right? That's the first part of it. Now that the koi fish has evolved into the dragon, what is the dragon doing? Where's the dragon doing? So now the story of the dragon is going to come out. And then we have the abstract line that shows you like the dancer. And then in addition to the dancer, then you're going to see the Brii. And then you're going to see a couple of other pieces off that line, but you're going to be very exciting. And then we have I think I spoke to you about this before, the eggheads that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're working on eggheads now,
Yeah.
and as I said before, like eggheads is just that simple camaraderie between people. Like, you know, like me, when I leave a meeting, I'll be like, wow, did he really say that?
Yeah.
Did she say that? And those are the things that make people say home. So we want to like put characters to those.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, that?
I cannot wait because I think that's going to be hilarious.
Yes,
that's going to be hilarious.
October, we're debuting that in October, so
Oh.
you'll be the first.
Okay,
We'll
good.
give you the first
heard that?
interview. Yes, when you debut. Yes, definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you guys, you're doing just, amazing things, and you're growing so rapidly. So rapidly.
Love it.
See, we need to take a blueprint, and this is what we need to pass out amongst people who are trying to get businesses started. The number one thing that he said is you gotta get your paperwork right. Okay? So if you're out here doing the vending thing and you're getting t-shirts from wherever, just please get it right.
Yes.
Because that makes a world of difference and people will take you seriously. They will take you seriously.
And,
right?
and it's very important because I was actually talking to a couple of gentlemen last week. We did a fashion show, a small fashion show last week in New York.
Okay.
And I met some people, and one of the guys said to me, he goes, your clothes are going to be in stores, so how do you prevent people from stealing your designs once they're in stores? And then he went on to tell me that he had a clothing company about 5 years ago, but he was younger and he didn't know the aspects of getting stuff copywritten and trademarked. And when he got his stuff in stores, his stuff wasn't selling, but when he went back to the store, he noticed that there were designs hanging up that were his designs, right? And he couldn't fight it because your paperwork's not right. So first and foremost, paperwork. By all means.
And speaking of paperwork, typically, how long does it take to get your trademarks and all that?
If you do the standard process, it's 30 days. But
That's not long.
no, that's not long. But then, like the people that I'm working with, they can actually do a 10-day rush.
Okay.
So sometimes when we come up with the ideas and we want to put it out right away,
Gotcha.
I need that 10-day rush. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but you know what? You pay the upfront money now, so you don't have to pay it later.
Absolutely. People get screwed in the end
Exactly.
without having anything. Okay, so we're going to talk to some of your key players.
Okay.
So who do you want us to talk to first? Who can we harass first?
The first one you can harass, and I'm going to put him on the spot, and I know he's going to hate it. My chief operating officer, Christopher C.
Mr.
Sharp.
Reynolds, come on over. Come on over.
Tonight?
Sit in the hot seat. Sit in the hot seat. Okay, so tell us, what is your perspective of Brii combination?
My perspective of Brii combination is a very vibrant company that's putting out very live clothes to everybody that young people could wear, older people can wear. And we have so much going on outside of the clothing that it's like we're just trying to not really take over, but express ourselves, give ourselves to the world.
Nice, nice. So from your perspective, what do you add to the company?
What do I add to it? Some may say I add a little discipline to it.
Okay.
I like to set rules, just to make sure that the machine runs well.
The machine runs well. That's right.
So someone say I add discipline. I like to say I add a little character to it, a little laughter.
Okay. Okay.
But at the most part, I add discipline.
Okay. All right. And that is definitely needed in a company. Lord knows that's needed in a company because we can all go to the left and to the right and everything, but if we have that person that can say, wait a minute, everybody needs to go forward at the same time, and then that makes a world of difference, because we're not, you're not in business just to be in business. You're in there to, make money.
We need to move as one.
Right. Absolutely.
Not as a bunch of people moving in different directions.
Yeah.
We move all as one in one direction.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so who do we have next that's going to be in the hot seat?
Most likely, Tanya Freedom
Right.
Brown,
So
Fairport.
what is your perspective about recombination?
I love it. I love recombination. For me, to see my niece come up with those ideas at such a young age, we had to support her because that is success. And if we let it fail, then she will not be successful. We are the adults, and we determine her future. And if our future does not predict hers, then we fail.
Nice.
So we succeed together.
That was nicely put. Okay, so tell us, we're going to get to this poem that I have to hear.
All right.
I have to hear.
The only thing is I have to stand up when I do my poem.
Okay, I understand. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, you ready?
But I need to stand up.
Absolutely.
All right. The name of this poem is called Brii Combination. Brii Combination is where passion meets fashion. So stop hiding all of your secret talents. Evolve all of y'all. Evolution is the key to the solution. Transforming yourselves into nothing but the best. Enough is enough. Abstract those negative thoughts from your mind. Don't be blind, it's time to shine. Remember who said that? I have a dream, and that's a fact. And never give up on that. Why? Because Brii Combination is where it's at. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So that was powerful.
Thank you.
That was powerful, and that encompassed everything that Brii is about.
Right. All of it. This is my foundation. This is our foundation.
Wow.
And we shall take it to the next level.
Do you see that attitude? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Taking it to the next level. So what does that mean for you?
That means to go far and beyond what they expect of you. And to take it to great heights. I want to be the next Gucci, the next Louis, the next Roberto Gabbana. Why not? Why can't we be? We are successful Black young entrepreneurs, and we are destined to be here.
Wow. Wow. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen?
That would be
Who's
Miss
in-
Fabulous Tria.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Mr. Reyes, so what do you add to Brii Combination?
So to Brii Combination, I fully support my daughter in her endeavors because she's so passionate about fashion. It's the joke around the house. Oh, you don't know how to dress because you. Oh, I was like, well, then if you don't know how to, I don't know how to dress. Make me something.
That's right. That's right.
Make me something.
That's right.
So it's always about encouraging and keeping her focused and motivated to strive to do more, to be better. Our family is a very supportive family, so we try to extend it out to the rest of the world, and that's what we're doing through Brii Combination.
Wow. So where do you see this company in a couple of years?
Get ready. Just get ready.
Wow.
You don't know where we're going to be, where we're going to turn up. We have so many different facets to the company that we're just going to infiltrate the entire world.
This is a worldly takeover. Y'all gotta get ready.
Get ready. We're going to get first, so Melanie Matters. We coming to take over the world.
Wow, that is truly, truly amazing.
that's a fundamental rule that my aunt told us. Be prepared to take the world by force.
So how do you prepare for that? I need to know the secret. So how do you prepare for that?
You follow your dream and what you're passionate about. And from there, it'll just come to you.
evolve. Yeah, I believe that. I solely believe that.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
It's the only way to be.
Yeah,
It's the only way to be.
And I think especially in this economy, guys, we have to, and I say this a lot, we have to get back to what we enjoy, what our passion is.
Truly.
Because you never know when you're going to get that pink slip. You never
know.
You never know. So, start thinking about the things that you like to do or you're interested, whatever, because you just never know. The 9-to-5s today are not the 9-to-5s of yesteryear.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many people out here that are entrepreneurs. They're using the 9-to-5 to build their own.
That's right.
You use those connections
That's right.
to build your own.
That's right.
And from there, the community just supports one another. And next thing you know, you have a Brii Combination. You have a food truck. You have, the next Maya Angelou.
You just never know.
You never know.
Until you get out there and do it.
That's for sure.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so who do we have?
You have the one, the only, Brittany Beresford.
So you came to your folks when you were?
16.
16. So what do you think was in your mind, that made you want to be creative and to make this dream come true?
Well, I loved art since I was a child, and when I went to junior high school, I started getting into fashion, and I got accepted into the High School of Fashion Industries in Manhattan.
Really?
Yeah. And I started learning how to sew and make dresses and stuff. And so I told my dad that I wanted to like get into fashion, like I was getting really serious about it. And I had already had some designs. He didn't know that I did, but like, I already did. And he was just like, yeah, bring some designs if you're like serious about it. We can start something. Like I'll be by your side with it. And that's how we started.
Wow, and he's been there.
Yeah.
He's been there. So how does that feel? I mean, as a young lady who has a dream, how does that feel?
It feels good. Like I know most, like everyone I work with is like family, so I know like it's a lot of support. A lot of kids my age wouldn't get that, and I do, so it feels good.
That's good. That's good. I mean, so you're a young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That is different from with normal teens. You know, your age. You know, they're like, oh, I'm going out to the movies with my boyfriend, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So how does that feel?
It feels stressful sometimes.
Yeah. The
You know,
demands.
trying to keep up with my friends, like with my social life, my family life, school, and everything. Sometimes it is stressful, but I think about like the future, like where do I want to be, and like how what I do now is gonna affect that. So.
Wow. That takes a very mature person to really think about that. You know, at such a young age, you don't hear that. You know, it's all party. it's all party. So how do you keep up with your friends? Do they think you're a little different, or what do they think?
My friends tell me I'm the mom of the group all the time. They're like, you're always keeping everything organized.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
When we go out, it's usually me who plans like to do everything. I'm like, this is what we're gonna do from start to beginning. And that's it.
Wow. So where do you see your company going?
Right now, I'm thinking more in the present right now because it's like scary to think about the future.
Wow.
But you know, eventually I do see like owning a small boutique. I'm really not into like, you know, worldwide like type person. I'm like, I would be happy with like owning my own boutique. That would
Really?
And like, you know, because I like to be able to do it personally, you know. So like when you get like that big, you have a lot of other things on your plate and like other people. And I personally like to have it. So for like within the next 5 years, I'd be happy with the boutique, honestly. Yeah.
So for those kids who would like to be like you, what advice would you give them?
I would say just find what you really love, because a lot of kids our age, like especially when I'm in college right now, a lot of kids our age definitely don't know what they like, or I have so many friends who like don't even know what to major in. I was like one of those people at one point. So just try so many different things. Don't be afraid to try something, even if you're like terrible at it. Like you could get better at it. You don't know if you really like it. Just put work into it. So you can build something from that.
Good. So give us some parting words. Give the audience the parting words. You weren't ready for that.
No, I wasn't ready for that. Well, I'd first say thank you, Melanie, for talking to me and taking your time to do this with me. And follow your dreams, kids. And see you again soon, hopefully.
Yeah, and don't forget, you gotta remind everyone to get a good support team, because you have it.
Yes.
Because your dream, I honestly think your dreams would not have been, you know, coming into fruition if you didn't have that team and that support to help you out. Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool, everyone. So what we're gonna do in 1 second is we're gonna get a good look at what Brii combination is all about. Okay? So hang on for a second.